What's up guys, welcome back to the Hollywood Mechanic. I'm Micah. Today we're going to do a video about tiers or product tiers. Basically what it involves is the quality and the price of any purchase that you make, not just in the automotive industry, but this applies to almost anything that you buy. What am I talking about with tiers? And basically it's just a level system for things that you might be purchasing, and this can even go to services, but today we're going to be focusing on hard items that you're going to be purchasing and how to differentiate between a quality product and not a quality product. Also, what one you should buy for your use. Alright guys, so the tiers are going to be broken down into three sections. Top tier or tier 1, which is going to be a high quality part that's typically a little bit more costly. We're talking about Snap-on, Miller for welders, Mac tools. These are brand names that are known as specialty brands in one specific area, and they usually back up their product with a good warranty, oftentimes a lifetime warranty. Now, lifetime warranty does not mean top tier tool necessarily. We'll get into that later, but a top tier tool will probably come with a warranty that says the manufacturer truly believes in their product. Tier 2 is going to be the broadest market. A lot of people vying for attention in this area because these are the tools you typically see on the shelves at your local hardware store or car parts store. This goes with Milwaukee brand, DeWalt, some Craftsman. Things like this are going to fall into a very wide spectrum, and sometimes a top tier brand may fall down into a tier 2, or a lower brand may elevate their game to a tier 2 as well. So again, we'll get into more details about how to differentiate those in just a moment. And then the last tier we have is our tier 3, or our lowest tier. These are like Dorman, Duralast. These are the parts that are very cheaply made, easily accessible, but probably will not work as well necessarily, or definitely not as long. But it has its trade-off in that it is very cheap and easy to get. All right, so what is the right tier for you? And that's something that only you're going to know, but with anything, you need to decide what you need out of the tool to determine what to get. And so let's go through the tiers. We'll go in the same order. Tier 1 is our top tier tool. Who needs to buy a top tier tool? This is typically going to be your mechanic that's using these tools on a daily basis and who is making money based on how well he and his tools perform. So if you're using a tool every day and it's cutting down your time to perform a job, then maybe you want to go with a top tier tool. Some of these tools like Snap-on or Miller, they specialize in a certain area, so they know from years and years of experience and user feedback what makes the tool easier. So in these cases, typically that top tier tool is going to be for your everyday user that wants something that's going to last for a long time. All right, so with tier 1 tools, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to get these tools. They're not going to be on the shelves at Lowe's, Home Depot, AutoZone. And the reason for that is most people going to these types of stores to buy tools and parts are not professionals. So there are very few people buying them. And so it doesn't make sense for these chains to carry these tools. In order to get these tools, you're going to have to go to a specialty site online that stocks them, or the Mac truck or Snap-on truck or a welding specialty store. Just beware of wherever you buy these, because this is going to be the most counterfeited tier. Because of the value and the cost of these tools, there are a lot of Chinese companies or other off-brand companies that are making replicas and putting that same brand name on there, and you won't get the same quality. So be careful of buying it on eBay or anywhere that is not an authorized retailer. All right, tier 2 is our next tier, and the one you're probably going to be buying if you're watching this video at home. This is a tier where you're going to have a good quality tool that's at a good price and probably easy to find in a store near you. This is like Milwaukee, DeWalt, a lot of brands that stand by their product and have been making a product for a long time. Now, this doesn't mean that anything with the DeWalt label is going to be a great tool. You need to do your research on any tool. Go online, look at some forums, see what other people are experiencing with this. I know one thing that I'm not really happy with is like the sanding flapper discs that DeWalt makes. They're like $3 more than the cheapest option at Lowe's or Home Depot, but they really only perform a little bit better than maybe your cheaper option. But if you go to like Air Gas or Matheson Gas or a welding supply store, then you can get one that's maybe $4 more expensive than the cheapest option at Lowe's, and that will perform 4 or 5 times better than any of the other tools in that mid-range. So just keep in mind, just because one tool brand does one thing well, it may not do something else just as well. Do your research and then buy appropriately. With tier 2 tools, this is like a lot of your do-it-yourselfer at home. You can make time to run and get these tools. You're not using them every day, so if one breaks, it's just your Saturday. You can run and fight Saturday crowds once in a while to replace those tools when you need to. And a lot of them have really good warranties. I use a lot of tier 2 tools, the Milwaukee drills. I even use Craftsman bits for some of my bits. They really work pretty well, and I haven't had any problems with them. All right, so tier 3, really there's not very many good things to say about this tier, and I don't recommend anyone buy it. The only reason they're still making these things is because people keep buying them and feeding that market. So really stop buying Duralast, stop buying Dorman. It creates a huge problem for not only the economy and yourself, but for the environment. It takes resources and pollution to create these items, and they're really not any good. And this even goes to Amazon. A lot of what I've found on Amazon is just trash, and the reviews may be good, but these are fake reviews, or even people who don't know what they're talking about, bought the tool, used it once, were happy with it, left a great review. So you really need to kind of do your research. I would highly recommend talking to a specialist in whatever area it is you're going to be buying something. And this again goes to more than just tools. If you're buying a tool that has to deal with electricians, call an electrician and be like, hey, I need to get a soldering kit. Where should I get it? Where's the flux I should use? What's the solder I should use? And if you go there and bring them a box of donuts, they'll be happy to tell you, whatever you need to know. But don't just go and purchase, because again, we're feeding a pretty nasty market that's really hurting our overall product. I mean, you can't buy good tools at Lowe's. All right, guys, so in conclusion, make sure you decide what you need out of a tool before you buy it, tier 1 or tier 2. Again, don't buy tier 3. If you don't know what to buy, again, give a call to a good technician or someone experienced in that field and pick their brain, find out what tools they recommend. And that's gonna be it for us. Hopefully this information helped you out, and we'll see you next time at Hollywood Mechanic.